Hello everyone, it is only a couple weeks into the championship game. If you're watching this after or a little bit before, I'll leave all the dates and description of everything and tickets or not whatnot if you want to buy them in the description. This period, the next couple weeks, is going to be basically me trying to make as much content as possible for you guys about the championship game so you can go in as informed on players as possible, because I think that'll be fun. Yesterday, did Benjamin Straight. That video evaluation is on the channel now if you want to go watch it. Members got it yesterday. If you want to be a member on the page, 99p for the month. Early access to videos. It should be just on the front page of the YouTube channel if you're interested in that. Much appreciated if you're interested. No pressure. Also did a Flamor Zemon one back in I think April. So it's another player on this team that's going to be highlighted in the game. But this video is about the guys that people don't necessarily think of when they think of the Rhein Fire. When you think of the Rhein Fire in your mind, you probably think of Jadrian and Glenn, Marloshawn, Sven Vedenbach, all these fantastic all-pro players, Amari Williams as well. You know, honestly, you could go all day about Aaron Donkor and all these fantastic players of the Rhein Fire. This video is about the guys that are not as well known, but are equally going to be part of the possible championship winning team and a massive part of what makes the Rhein Fire so good, and particularly their defense, because we got a couple defensive guys, 2 offense, 2 defense, wanting to split it up, and that's what we're going to look at today. Is the guys that are going to make an impact that are just a little bit less known but deserve to be talked about. Thank you very much. I'll see you at the end of the video. Starting off with one of the heroes of the semi-final against the Surge is Justin. He stepped up big time when Rhein Fire needed him this season, and stats don't really tell the whole story because he's also a pretty bloody good blocker that's helped with Glenn in his ascension to probably being the MVP. He had some games of inactivity, not registering a catch against Berlin the first time or against Cologne in week 5 and week 7. He also struggled with a couple of injuries here and there throughout the year. But in games like Paris and games like Berlin in week 13, he improved and became massively clutch and, I dare say, instrumental to their victory. In both Berlin and Stuttgart games, he registered a score in those one-score games, which makes his importance imperative. This season, he's flashed that big playability. He's shifty enough as a receiver to create space, can take screens for a decent amount of yardage, and is quite physical when he has the ball in his hands, again, able to continue for those yards. And from his Cologne days, we know he had decent hands. He then moved to Rhein over the last couple of seasons, has continued to improve every year in terms of his yardage, which shows to me that he's going to have a little bit more importance than people really know coming forward into the future. Moving forward, another player that was massively important to the semi-finals, we have Till Jansen. Another former Cologne player, this time on the defensive side, a defensive back. Most people are going to know Till because of that semi-final performance against Stuttgart, where he registered 2 interceptions, one of which in overtime, and a forced fumble that led to Rhein Fire ultimately winning the game. What people don't know is how consistent Till has been throughout his ELF career. He's been in the ELF since 2021. He's played 45 games in the regular season during his career in the ELF, and he has registered 2 interceptions every single year of the regular season, including this season where he had 2 more in the playoffs, and last year he also had an interception in the playoffs. He's an extremely important player for this team. His physicality, his length, his tackling ability, of course his consistency when it comes to turnovers, are all imperative on what makes him probably one of the more underappreciated German defensive backs in the entire league. And like Justin, he's come up extremely important in these important games. Stuttgart, also in Berlin on a 4th down stop. He's got the plays when it matters most, and I think as well as Justin, he's going to have a bigger importance in a championship game than what people realize, especially when he's coming against this Vienna receiver core. Kenzie, another former Cologne player, interestingly enough. Another player with a vast amount of experience, over 40 games in the ELF through 2021-2024. You don't really get much more experience than this. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I like to use these short 2 or 3 word descriptions of players. He is the cleanup crew. When it comes to players getting at sacks, running backs getting past the line of scrimmage, receivers catching these short passes. Kenzie is the one that cleans it up, tackles the players, gets it down, resets the play. During his ELF career in playoffs and regular season, he has had 13.5 sacks, so it means he can get after the passer, and he is a predominantly run defensive linebacker. You won't see him drop into coverage a ton, he's capable of it, but predominantly his work is done inside the box. I think that's the thing that gets him underappreciated and maybe not one of the players that people think of in this team, although he is quite often a middle linebacker, so you'd think that he would get a little bit more attention, but it's because he's not making these massive pick sixes or returning fumbles for touchdowns and stuff like that. He does the dirty, the grindy work that gets the team to these victories. And without him this season, I think that season will look a little bit different. And our last for this discussion of championship gems is Sergi Kenzie. I'm going to start this entry by saying slightly less yards, only 12 less yards than last season, pretty much half the carries, and 9.93 yards per carry. I think that realistically should tell you everything you need to know about how good Sergi Kenzie this season has been. Of course, Glenn is going to be the guy that you think of at the running back position for the Rhein Fire, and rightfully so. He's the MVP of this league, in my opinion, coming into the championship game. Offensive line, also phenomenal. All-stars, every single one of them is an all-star. That's why none of them made onto this list, because everyone already knows the Rhein Fire's offensive line is spectacular. I don't think Sergi gets enough credit for how good he is as a running back. He's extremely balanced, he's physical, he can receive out of the backfield, and he's being used as a blocker in some locations. He has great vision, he has good cuts, he has a good center of balance, and I think everyone within that organization knows how good Sergi is. His game highs for carry was only 10. 10 against Madrid, 10 against Cologne. That's as high as he went. But it's the efficiency and it's 9.93 yards per carry that makes him such a dangerous threat. It's pretty much a first down every time you give him the ball. As a receiver, he wasn't used a crazy amount, but he can easily do that too. Against Madrid, we saw him do that. He had over 162 yards in that game against Madrid, 150 against Cologne. So if you just have two of those games, that's over 300 yards. I think that Sergi is one of the better running backs in the league, and I think that he starts over the majority of the league at that position. I also think it's important to note that because he is on fewer touches, he's a little bit more well rested, he can come in more explosive against these more tired defenses that have had to deal with Glenn for 4 quarters. I actually think that Sergi probably is going to have the biggest impact out of all of these players in the final, because I think that they are going to run the ball down Vienna's throat. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I think they're going to do during this game with Glenn and with Sergi. I think that Sergi is going to be instrumental. He's such an important player, and again, he can receive out of the backfield, so it's not like he's limited to only running a rock. But let me know what you think. How do you think they're going to win? If you do think they're going to win, if you don't think they're going to win, tell me how you don't think they're going to win. Engagement is always a great thing. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the Vienna team and some of the gems in that. Members got this today, which is the 13th, Friday the 13th, and then people that don't have members will get it tomorrow. So, should be in time for the final. I'm going to do one like this for Vienna, and then I will do an evaluation probably on the Rhein Fire. I'm thinking Harlan Quofi. After I've done an evaluation on Harlan Quofi, I'll probably do another evaluation on Vienna. So I'm thinking most likely to Litza or Swankor, because both of those have been really good young players. I think are going to be impactful, as both of them start on this defense, which is important to note. 2 young guys in that defense against Glenn. Interesting conundrum, I think, going on there, but we'll find out. Back to past me that I filmed yesterday. Excellent. Thank you, everyone. As you can probably tell, I'm filming this back-to-back. But it's just easier to do back-to-back. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to the championship game. I'm going to be doing this for the Vienna Vikings team as well. Some of the more low-key guys. I'm going to try and do another eval, maybe on Harlan Quofi, or on Talitsa, or on Noah Swankor. There's honestly a bunch of players on both of these teams I could do evaluations on, and all of them are extremely interesting players. So let me know who you want me to do. Obviously, this is about Ryan. I did one about Vienna last, a couple days ago. So now we're going to do Vienna next, and it'll probably be the same format as this. So if you have any suggestions for that, let me know. Discord in the description. Don't think I've got anything else. I'm hoping it'll be a championship game. I need to sort out stuff with the Masters. Got my date of the start of my Masters. Yes. I'm a little bit nervous about that. So, all's good. Nothing else I've got to share. So, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Yeah, I'm all good. Stay sharp. See you later. Goodbye.